Welcome to the Patriarchy Show. Joe Biden has signed new anti-lynching legislation, the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, and that will make it a federal crime to lynch somebody. I believe it is already a federal crime, though.
Yeah,
And
it's just repeating itself.
It's an interesting piece of legislation. If it's redundant, it's also it's what I referred to earlier as a modern solution to a 19th century problem. We have, we haven't had a lynching in 67
Yeah, I was
years,
gonna say,
according
when was
to
the last
Tuskegee.
lynching?
Tuskegee Institute says it's 1955.
Oh,
Emmett Till.
thank God we tackled that problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not really too much of a concern. Most of it peaked like 120 years ago during Reconstruction. So lynching is also not entirely racial.
Right, white people got lynched as well.
Yeah, actually 25% of the people lynched were white. 25%. That's a number that no, I would have known. Like, okay, yeah, probably some white people got lynched, but 25%.
Yeah, that's larger than I thought it would be.
Yeah. So at that point, you kind of go, you have to wonder, is it racial? Now, and then according to a study and I'm not, don't even start.
No, I'm not. I'll back away.
According to Arthur F. Raper, sociologist, and I swear that's his name. He says he investigated lynchings between 1929 and 1940. He estimated he investigated 100 of them. He said approximately one-third of the victims were falsely accused. Everybody has a right to a fair trial, but that means that two-thirds of the time someone was lynched, they were guilty of a crime that, I mean, according to him, that they most likely would have gotten the death penalty for anyway.
Okay, so one-third of the lynchings, so 33% of the lynchings that did happen were wrong.
They were falsely accused.
Okay, of what, like 5,000 lynchings?
No, it was just 100. He took a sampling of 100.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, and really the total number of lynchings, if you add them up together, they're the it was 3,446 blacks, 1,297 whites,
4,700-ish,
and 125 of them were black on black.
Oh.
And it says the rate of black on black lynchings rose and fell in similar pattern to lynchings overall. And there were over 200 cases of white on white lynchings in the South before 1930. And there were 4 recorded instances of black on white lynching. Now, of course, there's a lot of instances of black on white crime, murders, and more. But those don't really count as being as serious as a lynching, I guess.
Yeah, because one, the person dies, and the other one, the person dies.
Yeah.
You see how that works?
Sure. There's a huge distinction.
It's a big distinction.
But, so really, you can't tell a guy like Joe Biden, though, that it's in the distant national rearview mirror,
Yeah, he was alive when it happened.
Yeah, he was a lifeguard then, wrapping a chain around Corn Pop's face. I guess it doesn't really jibe very well with his anti-lynching legislation. I'm going to wrap this chain around your head. You might attack me.
He was lynching. He was going to lynch Corn Pop.
He was going to lynch Corn Pop.
We know it.
Corn Pop was a bad dude. He ran with a lot of bad boys.
Yeah, so we hear.
Now, or you can't. You also can't tell him it's not 100% racial. Now, he had this quote during the bill signing ceremony. This is from NBC News. From the bullets in the back of Ahmaud Arbery to countless other acts of violence, countless victims, known and unknown. They're countless, known and unknown. We don't even know. That's why we can't count them.
Yeah.
The same racial hatred that drove the mob to hang a noose brought that mob carrying torches out of the fields of Charlottesville.
Oh, Charlottesville.
Yeah, I love how they call up Charlottesville. This, right-wing, fake right-wing psyop,
Right.
that or just op, I guess, that brought people far and wide. I mean, that Kessler guy is obvious. He's an Obama guy. Nobody goes from Obama to alt-right
to super. I don't
that quickly. I don't think so. He was a supporter of Obama in a way. At a time that indicates
super supporting
recently.
Obama.
Yeah, he was like involved in the campaign and stuff.
A friend of mine actually represented some of the people in Charlottesville in the trial when they were getting sued by this lawyer from the city. Yeah, he helped defend a few of the guys. Richard Spencer.
Yeah. They didn't win their case, did
No.
they?
No.
Yeah, nobody can come out on top there.
The law firm raised like $100 million or something ridiculous.
Oh.
Yeah, to sue like 5 white guys with nothing.
Well, there were also no lynchings there, though.
There was definitely no lynchings.
There was one fat white girl who got run over because Antifa spooked this guy sufficiently to make him step on the gas and panic.
Yeah, like what else? If you're in that situation, Antifa's banging on your car. They obviously see that you're a right-wing guy. What do?
Suddenly he remembers.
Take off.
Wow, I've got a Charger.
Yeah.
That's pretty. There's a lot of strong engine under that hood. You know what? Why don't I just step on the gas? But it did a lot of front end damage hitting that girl.
Yeah, she was a big one.
She was a fire plug.
Fire plug.
I mean, not to speak ill of the dead, but I mean, it's just, facts are facts. And really, I don't know that the guy deserves the sentence that he got for that.
400 years or something ridiculous.
I mean, it's really kind of unfair, to say the least. I mean, it's uneven justice.
We've seen,
but you can't really come out for him because you sort of own every principle the guy ever had in this case. You know,
why?
That's how they do it.
Can't you just say, oh yeah, that's how they do it? I'm saying, can't you just say, well, he shouldn't have been given 400 years, maybe manslaughter.
Yeah,
but not
exactly,
years, and not be with every single point of his belief system.
Only a Nazi would say such a thing.
Yeah,
that's how they do it. It's too bad that we can't have such a there can be no nuance whatsoever to a discussion.
No. I'm just a Nazi, and that's
the law. Yeah, because he's an undefendable person, and that's how they get people to do this. I mean, it was just a bunch of counter-protesting scum, anyways, that he drove into. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Dredges of society.
So that's one problem with the quote. Here's another problem with that quote. Ahmaud Arbery wasn't shot in the back. The coroner's autopsy report had one gunshot to the upper left chest, and then one that wounded the lower middle chest, and one that caused a deep, gaping graze wound to the right wrist. He says bullets in the back of Ahmaud Arbery. It's like he was jogging. He just jogged by, and they shot him in the back.
Jogging with a hammer and work boots, because you do that. Because the hammer creates extra weight when you're jogging. And the work boots, they also, instead of ankle weights, maybe he couldn't afford ankle weights, poor guy, had the work boots.
Yeah.
It's a little better to jog in them.
Not everybody can afford fancy running shoes, sweats or whatever. And Wikipedia completely sells out to this whole jogger idea, He was a jogger. He was a jogger who got shot. A jogger. I just don't. I cannot.
He was wearing spandex shorts. The whole thing.
Just
a jogger.
Can't get into that at all. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Well, Wikipedia. I mean, they're the only real source for information that we have to go to for, like, if you want to look up, like,
it comes up.
Yeah,
it's an easy easy reference.
Yeah, it's the first thing that comes up in any search engine, and it's right there in your face. But the political ideologies of the people who edit Wikipedia are far, far left wing, like 90% to 10% or even higher.
Which I wouldn't even mind if it just wasn't so visible, you know, but it is. It's just very, very visibly true. You cannot, it's undeniable. It's just absolutely undeniable.
Yeah, it's right. It's right in your face. You're like, no, that's not true. I saw it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I was looking for something in particular here. I had a little video of Ahmaud Arbery's dad, which was pretty amusing, but it looks like I'm barking up the wrong tree in this case. I don't think it's here, which is disappointing, but that's okay. I have, the interview there with his dad kind of shows, I don't know. I mean, like, what can it really mean? It's his dad and his uncle, and I'm not trying to say it's so telling or anything like that, but it's, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
He just has this, he seems like a real dummy.
The dad and the uncle?
Both. Mm-hmm. Yeah, particularly the dad, I think.
Okay.
It's I don't think I have like a version of it that is viewable. Oh well, that's all right. It's just that the only reason I wanted to bring it up is because there's just not too many excuses to show these Ahmaud Arbery's dad thing. Maybe I'll find it at some later point. And so anyway, that's the anti-lynching legislation, largely ceremonial, symbolic, and meaningless. It's not going to affect the way anybody lives their life in America, the United States. I mean, like, look, I'm all for lynching being illegal. It's not something that should happen.
Yeah.
I'm not all for it. I don't think anybody's for it. But still, Ahmaud Arbery was not shot in the back. He was shot in the chest. He was trying to take away a gun from a dude.
Yeah, and those dudes got life in prison.
Yeah, they were punished
For being
severely,
white males.
fucking severely punished.
Because they were white males. If it was a black on black, it would obviously be a different situation.
Oh
Scenario.
yeah, you know what? It's true. Being punished for your race in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, that's just absolutely true. There's no denying it.
In a proper society, those men would have been given awards, but we don't live in a proper society.
Racial hate isn't an old problem; it's a persistent problem. Biden added. I don't agree with that either. Racial hate is something I'm getting sick of hearing about.
Yeah,
You know, it's not against the law to fucking hate people.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not against the law. It's not even against the American ideal. I mean, freedom of thought, freedom of speech comes with freedom of thought.
Right.
And they try to say this like, oh, you know, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, but it does mean freedom from certain consequences. Otherwise, it's, you know, and besides all this shit,
Even
like
God hates. You know, like
even what?
Even God hates. He hates evil and he hates sin. So if the big guy can do it, you know.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's a hate crime to be against my sin. Right?
Yeah.
God, guilty of hate crimes. Well, supposedly he loves all the children of the world, you know. It doesn't say shit about the adults, does
Just
he?
the children.
Just the children. The children are, the kids are all right, he says. It says, for the first time in U.S. history, we are finally make lynching a federal hate crime.
Nice.
There you go. Well said. Well said, Mr. President, acting president. We are doing it in Emmett Till's name.
Oh,
That's Rush. I'm sorry, that's Bobby Rush, the one who and he introduced the legislation. It said it will make it possible to prosecute a crime as lynching, a conspiracy to commit a hate crime, results in death or serious bodily injury. Now that seems like it might be a little more wide open than it needs to be.
Yeah, they made it vast so there could be different interpretations of it. So if you're at a bar with your buddy and you get in a
Let's
fight with
rob
a black,
that guy afterwards.
No, let's say you get in a fight with a black guy, you know, you're two white guys. Maybe you've made comments on social media that aren't so flattering to black people, and all of a sudden, you know, maybe a rope came down from the ceiling or something. All of a sudden, he's lynching.
It doesn't.
Lynching.
Well, no rope has to be involved.
Sure.
He only has to be injured.
Oh, okay.
According to Rand Paul, when they introduced similar legislation in 2020, and he held it up because he was like, somebody could get 10 years minimum automatic just for bruising, light bruising.
Right.
And I think Rand Paul is somebody who sees the implications of a law like that and will speak to them when a lot of people won't.
It's more punishment for being white, and it's the opposite of what should happen.
Perpetrators face up to 30 years in prison. And this is while they're like prosecuting. They're so big on cutting the population and the prison population and all that stuff. And they want to, we don't have less people in prison unless you're speaking at a school board meeting or and
trying to keep a gym open in Jersey.
Yeah. Then we need more people in jail.
Throw them away.
Emmett Till's name. You know, I've heard Emmett Till. They say it's whistling at a white woman. I think he was accused of rape or something, and I don't know that, but it seems like I've had conversations in which. Do you know anything about Emmett Till?
About Emmett Till, no.
I don't know much about it, so I don't want to speak too much to
Yeah.
it. But his dad, I know, was also he was a convicted rapist, I believe.
Wow,
in
runs in
Italy,
the family.
and killed some Italian woman or something. So that
Jeez.
means nothing for Emmett Till's case, of course.
Yes.
Because things like that
Sins
don't
of
run
the
in
father.
family.
Yeah.
All right. So President Trump said that Vladimir Putin should, quote, release information on an alleged business deal involving Hunter Biden. And we all know that's President Joe Biden's
Of course.
crackhead son. In a new interview Tuesday, Trump discussed an alleged $3.5 million wire transfer from Russian billionaire Elena Baturina to Hunter Biden's investment firm. That was outlined in a report by Senate Republicans made public ahead of the 2020 election.
Was she married to the Moscow mayor or something to that regard?
You know, I don't know. If I click on this, maybe it'll tell me. But, that's... Yeah, Moscow mayor. Yeah, the White House press secretary Jen Psaki said that she's not familiar with a widely reported claim that a company associated with first son Hunter Biden received $3.5 million. She wasn't familiar from the wife of Moscow's former mayor after being asked by the Post what the payment was for. She said, I'm not familiar with that claim. It doesn't sound like it's backed up by a lot of evidence. If you have evidence or specifics, I'm happy to discuss it further. Okay, well, what is the evidence exactly?
We have it.
It says the alleged 2014 payment, frequently cited during the presidential campaign last year. Then President Donald Trump often raised it at public events, including at campaign rallies, and he did it at both presidential debates. The claim was the subject of one of the most contentious moments of the first presidential debate, with a flustered Biden denying his son got the money and calling Trump a clown. Flustered is the word, yeah.
Is the Post the only media outlet, at least newspaper, that's actually doing reporting?
Yes.
They seem to, every time we go to the Post, go to the Post, go to the Post.
Yeah, the Daily Mail might do it a little.
Right.
The Senate report, and of course the other, you're talking about major sources, I guess.
Yeah.
Occasionally there's something in Fox. The Senate report released in September, okay, it said the firm linked to Hunter Biden received $3.5 million from Elena Baturina, the widow of former Moscow Mayor Yuri Luzkov, and the senators said they did not know the purpose of the payment. Okay, so look at her being all one gun sacky there.
And Putin can obviously just wave a magic wand and all details will be revealed. So this is interesting.
Yeah.
Will Trump be called a Putin puppet because of this? Even more than he already has been? He's working with Putin to take down the president?
Well, you know what? They do pick their villains, don't they?
Yes,
and they pick them and keep them because it's been all about Putin since 2015. The September 29th presidential debate in Cleveland, Trump peppered Biden with questions about the payment. Just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million. What did he do to deserve it? Trump said, also noting Hunter Biden's reported $83,000 per month job on the board of Burisma, while the elder Biden controlled the Obama administration's Ukrainian policy.
Wow, how corrupt is that? You have the most corrupt government in the world, which is in Ukraine, going along with one of the most corrupt administrations in U.S. history.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so obvious.
And Biden's reply was, typical of Biden. None of that is true.
Just
oh,
dismiss
really?
it all.
He didn't get $3.5 million? It's totally credited, totally discredited. Well, wait, he didn't get $3.5 million, Joe? He got $3.5 million. That is not true. At the second and final presidential debate in Nashville, Trump launched into attack on Biden over the report. Joe got $3.5 million from Russia. That's Joe. And it came through Putin because he was very friendly with the former mayor of Moscow. And it was the mayor of Moscow's wife. He got $3.5 million. Your family got $3.5 million. And someday you're going to have to explain, where did you get $3.5 million?
I hope so.
I don't understand. I mean, it's now here, Ron Johnson tweeted about it. He said, "Oh, you're not familiar? Here, let me send you a link." He sends the link, and that's the reason I'm clicking. I want to follow Ron Johnson. Why not? And here's the link. It's connected to something from the Senate here. U.S. Senators Ron Johnson and Chairman of the Senate Homeland Security and Chuck Grassley. Grassley and Johnson. Everybody loves that. Your mama don't dance, your daddy don't rock and roll. Released a report that revealed millions of dollars in questionable financial transactions between Hunter Biden and his associates. It revealed them. Released a report that revealed millions of dollars in questionable financial transactions between Hunter Biden and his associates and foreign individuals, including the wife of the mayor.
And this was September 23rd, 2020.
Yeah.
So this is right before the election.
Exactly. That's why he was saying none of that is true. He just said none of that is true. None of it.
Just lied.
Will not address it. None of it is true. That's the way they respond to things.
But Trump said he could get away with the murder in the middle of the street. You can't have that. Biden making shady deals with Ukraine and Russia. That's okay, though.
These were just some of the findings from their investigation into potential conflicts of interest. Just some of them. Arising from Hunter Biden accepting a position on the board. Okay, and taking $1 million from Burisma. It says findings from the chairman's investigation include, in early 2015, former deputy chief of mission at the U.S. Embassy in Kiev, Ukraine.
Yeah, now it's Kyiv. I know that.
George Kent raised concerns to officials in Vice President Joe Biden's office about the perception of a conflict of interest with respect to Hunter Biden's role on Burisma's board. His concerns went unaddressed. Then he emphasized it in an email, saying, furthermore, the presence of Hunter Biden on the Burisma board was very awkward for all U.S. officials pushing an anti-corruption agenda in Ukraine. Okay, well, I mean, is that not true? Is that one of the things? It's just
not
none
true.
of that is true.
He said in the debate, not true.
In October 2015, Senate senior State Department official Amos Hochstein raised concerns with Vice President Biden as well as with Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's position on Burisma's board enabled Russian disinformation efforts and risked undermining U.S. policy in Ukraine. All right? Hunter Biden was serving on Burisma's board when Burisma owner... when Burisma's owner allegedly paid a $7 million bribe to officials under Ukraine's Prosecutor General, Vitaly Yarema, to shut the case against her. Or him. To shut the case against him. So, yeah, a $7 million bribe under Ukraine's Prosecutor General, Vitaly Yarema.
Nothing to see here.
George Kent testified that that this bribe occurred. George Kent testified to this. He was. I think he was in the impeachment hearing, wasn't he? That this bribe occurred in December 2014, 7 months after Hunter Biden joined Burisma's board, and after learning about it, he and the resident legal advisor reported this allegation to the FBI.
So Biden absolutely knew. There's no doubt he didn't know.
How could he not?
He can claim.
I don't know anything
lack of
about
knowledge.
his business. You know, that's what he says.
He does his thing. I do my thing.
I'm just the big guy.
Yeah.
In addition to the over $4 million paid by Burisma to Hunter Biden and his business partner, Devin Archer, for membership on the board, Hunter, his family, and Archer received millions of dollars from foreign nationals with questionable backgrounds.
Wow.
Devin Archer received $142,300 from a guy in Kazakhstan, reportedly for a car. The same day, Vice President Joe Biden appeared with the Ukrainian Prime Minister, and addressed Ukrainian legislatures in Kyiv regarding Russia's actions in Crimea.
Oh.
So Hunter Biden received $3.5 million wire transfer from Elena Baturina. He received it.
Right.
So why is this an allegation?
It definitely happened. It's not
why
an
is it
allegation.
allegedly?
It absolutely happened.
See, that's what bothers me about the Post is they want to throw that allegedly in there, and that's enough distance from the facts.
Yeah, just in case they get sued, they don't want to get sued or whatever. But
now the Post is politically biased towards the left.
It happened. It's there. the paperwork's there. It happened.
If they're saying it happened, then it happened.
The Senate is saying it happened.
Because it's not saying allegations. These are findings. They found this.
Well,
this is what they found.
Yeah, and they found in emails that Biden, they were talking about Celtic, and Biden's code name with the Secret Service was Celtic, about different communications with Celtic. I wonder who that could be. Celtic. Just ridiculous.
Hunter Biden had business associations with Yi Jiaming, Gongwing Dong, other Chinese nationals linked to the Communist Party and People's Liberation Army. Those associations resulted in millions of dollars in questionable transactions. So he's taking money from China as well.
Sure, why not?
Hunter Biden opened a bank account with Gongwing Dong that financed a $100,000 global spending spree with James Biden and Sarah Biden.
Nice. Good for him.
Yeah, Hunter Biden also moved millions of dollars from his law firm to James Biden's and Sarah Biden's firm. Upon being questioned about the transaction, Sarah Biden refused to provide supporting documentation and information to more clearly explain the activity. The bank subsequently closed the account.
Oh, just coincidence.
Forget it. We'll close it. All right. Hunter Biden paid non-resident women who were nationals of Russia and other European countries who appear to be linked in an Eastern European prostitution human trafficking ring. That's the least of it. That's the least of it.
Yeah.
As outlined in Senate Resolution 70, the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee has the express authority to study or investigate the efficiency and economy of operations, blah, blah, blah. And,
and they couldn't go forward because we elected a 50-50 Senate.
Yeah.
Yay. So who knows if we'll ever know.
Well, yeah.
Like the real, minutia of the details, were these prostitutes underage? Hmm.
Well, of course they were.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And if they weren't, then maybe he likes an older kind of lady he can talk to. They can have
He wants one.
someone who understands how bitter and angry he is about his life.
Yeah, just smoking crack, hanging out, getting
These
millions of
kids
dollars.
don't
His
get
life
it.
sounds pretty awesome, to be quite honest with you.
Hey, if you like crack,
Yeah,
for sure.
it sounds awesome.
Couldn't be better.
Millions of dollars, travel around the world, Eastern European prostitutes.
Now, apparently, what do you call it? Admissions are down. Colleges across America face a daunting challenge. Their student headcount shrunk more than 5% since 2019, according to a national estimate, as debate over the value of higher education intensified during the public health crisis and economic tumult. So that's nearly 1 million students. Some drifted out of college. I think that there's no point in going to college.
I agree.
Go be an electrician. Go be a plumber. Follow your dream. Do whatever. Make some money in the meantime.
I say the same thing to my kids. I'm not one of those parents that helicopters over them about their grades. As long as they're progressing and they're graduating, I really don't give a shit because I know that they can do the work, that they just rather play football or hang out outside with their friends, which I much rather them do
Oh,
than
yeah.
doing, studying, whatever they're studying.
Yeah, that song Kodachrome. When I look back on all the crap I learned in high school,
Yeah.
it's a wonder I can think it all. And it is. It's an indoctrination center, and one of the first ones.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And now they want it to be not one of the first ones. They want to get people a lot younger now, which I hate the idea of. Them grabbing up kindergartners, and teaching them all
Protecting
about.
trans kids and whatnot.
Well, you got to get your puberty blocker started.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Remember when we were young? When I was young, anyway. I don't know how old you are. How old are you?
41.
41. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, when I was a kid, everybody was worried about that heavy metal music and shit.
Oh,
You can't get that satanic devil's music, and that's what parents were like. I hope my kid doesn't get into that devilish, satanic,
Yeah.
heavy metal music. And
Iron Maiden.
now kids have to worry. Now parents have to worry about whether or not their kid's gonna, get on puberty blockers and have the guidance counselor convince their son to cut his dick off.
Yeah, well,
That can,
could happen.
It's a much more serious kind of a thing to be concerned about, I think.
I think it has a lot to do with the parents. Obviously, it's going to be a lot higher in left-wing households that, accept this sort of shit.
It's funny, right?
Because it's like having a pet, like, oh, look at my kid. Look at my trans. I could say, oh, look at my son. He does this, X, Y, and Z. He's a good kid. But look at my trans kid. Whoa!
All things considered, I think they'd rather him just have a trans friend.
Yeah. They don't. My kids don't like any of it. Apparently, one of my son's teachers has a gay flag magnet in the classroom, and I'm going to message my friend who's on the Board of Education about it, because that is not acceptable. If someone hung up a flag of the Vatican or something, people would be pretty pissed off, but gay flag is okay.
But the Vatican, ironically, would be okay with the gay flag.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the most liberal pope that
we
that
do
you've
right
ever
now.
had.
We do right now.
I don't know. You do. I don't. But
The
I mean, we're seeing the most
Catholics.
liberal administration of a pope that I've much more liberal than I would have ever thought I'd see.
The Pope really doesn't. He kind of leaves us alone to do our own thing.
He's the embodiment of God on earth.
He's orthodox. We're orthodox in communion with Rome. So, and in Vatican II, he pretty much let the Eastern churches have autonomy.
Vatican II.
Yeah, Vatican II.
What the fuck is Vatican II?
Council. It was the one that made all the church services into Novo Ordo, into more modern. Put the Eucharist in your hand, sort of thing, instead of the priest putting it right on your tongue and all this other stuff. More modern music, making it more modern.
Yeah, making it, just stripping it of a lot of its tradition.
Yeah.
We need to get all this tradition out of here. That's the real risk. That's the real problem, is all this tradition.
Yeah.
When do you suppose this guy tweeted this? I mean, is it too late to retweet it? I'll retweet it anyway. Who gives a shit? There you go. So, Psaki is full of shit. And just to cap off that Biden story there about that, it would be amazing if anybody ever went to prison for anything that was
it's not gonna
serious,
happen.
but they just don't do it.
It's not going to happen.
It is just not something that you can count on, and that's too bad.
You can impeach Trump twice, but when you have obvious, evidence of corruption, nothing happens.
Well,
It's magic.
not only the corruption, but also the straight up doing, what's extorting them with, with it. We're not going to give you these funds unless you do the strong arming them into firing the prosecutor, bragging about it.
Yeah, he said it on TV.
He said it. Yeah, he said what was it, IMF or International Monetary Fund thing, or it was it was no, I don't think it was that. It was one of the World Relations or something like that. The Council on something relations or something. Council on Foreign Relations. I don't know what it was, but it was some shit like that where all these leads meet to make plans for the rest of us. And bragging about it though. Trump saying, "Hey, great job in the election. You might want to look into some of this fucking crime that Joe Biden did." His political rival. He hadn't declared yet. It's not a political rival. Fuck off. They already knew it was going to be Biden.
Yeah.
They didn't have to play it out.
There was no sense in doing that.
He made the phone call. I read the whole phone. You notice they did not promote the reading of that phone call. They did not have it published everywhere.
No.
Not a lot of quotes. They'd rather just go by Alex, what's his name? Fucking I can never remember the guy. Adam Schiff. Shifty Schiff is fucking, what's his name? I hate the way that guy, who's the guy on Fox? The fucking, the main, not Tucker, but the guy who comes on before him.
Hannity? Oh, no, not Jesse Waters?
No, Hannity I'm talking about,
okay.
Because that Adam Shifty Schiff.
Same lines.
And Hillary Clinton's bought and paid for Russian dossier. Always the exact
same thing for 20 years.
Pound. The same, repeating these terms.
It's the same show. You can watch the one show and get all your information for the week.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's just it's not so much the information; it's the fact that he has to couch it in all these phrases,
catchphrases,
his little catchphrases he likes to use. It's like you can come up with different stuff. It would be so easy to write for him. Anyways,
just make sure it has some rhyme scheme in there.
Or just like Michael Eric Dyson. You know that guy, Michael Eric Dyson.
Yeah.
He's a trip, isn't he?
Oh, well,
that rhyming. Talking about rhyming. He strings together a few 50-cent words to make him sound really smart.
Nice.
I could do it if I felt like it.
But
I don't feel like doing the impression.
I
don't feel sufficiently called towards it. All right then. Well, let's see. We could keep going here if you want, or we can
let's keep going.
Cover anything else here. This Russian troops got significant doses of radiation. According to Ukrainian Power Authority, they dug trenches around Chernobyl. Russian forces have started to withdraw from the Chernobyl plant today, Thursday. Ukraine's nuclear agency said troops reportedly suffered from significant doses of radiation.
Interesting.
And the agency confirmed on Telegram that Russian forces dug trenches in the highly radioactive Red Forest. Now the animals are coming back there and stuff.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, nice three-eyed fish, some weird.
Did you see that
developments?
That show I think on HBO about Chernobyl.
I watched some of it. Yeah,
really good.
I didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah, it was interesting. It was very.
Good.
It was a little dark.
Yeah, you could say that.
Some of those situations, just like this is gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna
it's
suck.
gonna blow. Oh well.
Or after it blew, being like, well, we have a very clear future mapped out for us.
The Russian government did not want to hear no, and because of that, kaboom, Chernobyl.
Russian forces have begun to withdraw from it, it says, after suffering from a significant doses of radiation. Why do I trust Ukraine?
Yeah.
Why do I trust the Ukraine?
It's probably just moderate doses.
State nuclear agency. Maybe it's nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just speculating, it's like, ha ha, Russians,
You got radioactive.
I just don't like. I can't. I mean, picking a side in this is fucking stupid. But
no.
I think everything Putin says makes sense. The people, the part of the country he wants, basically, he wants Crimea, and he wants fucking people that are Russian. He wants to. They want it.
Just like we wanted Iraq and Afghanistan and who knows whatever other country.
I mean, not even that bad. I mean, say we wanted, I don't know, New Mexico,
right,
and Arizona, and the whole country gets taken. This is how things happen.
We get to take back our own country?
That's the way things happen.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of No, I'm not saying that France should come over. I mean, try to get Louisiana back. I mean, they sold us that.
Yeah,
But
bought and paid for.
or what the agreement bought and paid for. It's just like that damn Russian dossier. I'm just saying that there's, it's these. I mean, we know it's the United States causing this shit. I mean, like I've never been one to just. I want to support the United States in foreign policy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I want to believe in what we're doing, but I just don't. I don't think it's right. I don't think that what they're, like talking about how like causing a war because of your refusal to say that they won't be in NATO, and it becomes a de facto NATO situation if you're going to defend Ukraine anyways.
Right. And I used to think the FBI was the epitome of law enforcement and upheld the truth and all this shit, and then Trump election happened. I'm like, wow, how corrupt can you be?
About 2016.
Yeah. It opened my eyes. I was like, wow, our law enforcement is shit.
But at that level.
Yeah.
At that level, federal
law enforcement, CIA, all
CIA and FBI are just. Yeah.
I mean, then I started looking into Ruby Ridge and the Branch Davidians, and like, wow, they really killed all those kids.
Yep, they
Holy
sure did.
Holy shit!
They did without cause.
Yep, nothing happened.
They killed up there in Ruby Ridge. They killed those guys.
Yeah, the
and
wife,
the dog,
and
the kid,
and the dog.
right.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Yeah,
they just do whatever they want.
Imagine the shit we don't know. I mean, CIA. Brennan he's a communist. He was a declared communist in the 70s when he got hired.
Oh,
he applies for the job. Hey, I'd like to be in the CIA. They're like, yeah, sure.
Hired.
Oh, you're a commie. Good. And you hear him talk now. When he explains about international affairs, he's such a fucking jackass. You say anything in that voice, he's just like, you talk all around it and never get to the point.
Right.
Never acknowledge it. It's just like he's the press arm of the CIA.
It's never yes or no.
I mean, come on, man. He supposedly left the CIA. He's like the former director of the CIA or some shit.
Yeah.
Now he's like just out there like on CNN, presenting the CIA line. Anything that Brennan says, you can rest assured it's the opposite of what's good.
Right. And you notice on cable news, they like to hire a lot of former FBI agents, a lot of former CIA agents. So you're getting shit. You're probably not getting the right information. You're probably getting shit information. Whatever that ex-CIA person's telling you, is probably the opposite.
You're getting shit reporting on shit information.
Yeah. It's a big circle jerk.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about this. It just keeps kind of saying, hey, dug trenches, got radiation. Dug trenches, got radiation. Dug trenches, got radiation. It's a whole story. It says the defense ministry claimed it would scale back assaults on the northern Ukrainian citizens like, Kiev and, excuse me, Chernihiv.
Of course.
Or whatever the fuck, which are not far from Chernobyl.
Oh.
I wonder why they would dig trenches around Chernobyl.
Maybe they were latrine? Could have been. Their shit got.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on out there? Why are they
latrines.
fighting some fucking, early 20th century war? Mid 20th. Why are they doing that?
You got to put the shit somewhere, right? Like, why not?
Why are they out there? Why are we allegedly have soldiers out here shooting at each other? What the fuck is going on?
This is a power plant.
None of this makes any sense. Let's have a fucking World War I style trench digging,
1917
fucking blowout of a fucking war. How is this possible that this is happening?
Dropping bombs by hand from planes.
Yeah. Let it go, whatever, fire in the hole. They're trying to fucking make it seem as like, the Red Baron, what was it, the Ukrainian ghost or some shit?
The ghost of Kiev.
Ghost of Kiev.
Or whatever.
Yeah, that happened. Sure.
Yeah, I believe that was real.
Yeah, he's a fighter ace, right? He's supposed to be up there in a plane,
Top Gun.
In a biplane. Give me a fucking break. The Pentagon approached Russia's claims with deep skepticism, saying Russian troop movements are like a repositioning, not a real withdrawal. Have you watched any of Zelensky's former TV show?
I've seen clips where he's dressed up like a girl and dancing and shit like that.
I haven't seen that.
And
I watched
high heel boots and stuff.
This guy is not to be taken seriously. He's a fucking. I saw some of the show. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it. Has a title. I don't remember what it is. But I was like, oh, I guess I kind of have to watch a minute of this. And I watched most of an episode. got tired of reading it. You know, 'cause it's all in
Subtitles.
Ukrainian. And it's like this guy is a teacher, and somehow like blunders into getting, like some video he has goes viral, and they're like, well, we like the sound of that. Talking about cutting waste and everything. I just think it's one thing for Trump, who's had a big personality. He's been involved in politics. He's been involved in building. He's been involved in many things.
He has a big building right down the road.
He has political ideas. He's a guy who is engaged, and he has the personal kind of rapport, charisma, and the stamina. I'm talking about the endurance.
Yeah, that guy
to absorb
nonstop
all that punishment that he took, and come out with a smile on his face. That's what a wonderful election we had. And all that kind of stuff. He never really got that flustered, and was they tried to make it seem otherwise. But he was a great fucking president as a character.
Agreed.
His character was. And so
I'd vote for him again, absolutely. Absolutely. Without hesitation.
I would take 5 years off my life expectancy.
Whoa.
To have Trump back in office.
Giving up your life.
Because it would be that much better. The last 5 years going to suck.
Everything was cheaper. You go to gas, it was $1.80 a gallon.
You could feel good about everything.
You could buy a steak and not pay $20 for it, Everything's a lot more expensive, that's for sure. And it's not 6%. They say it's 6%. I remember the grocery bill 3 years ago, and it's not 6% or whatever they're saying.
Oh, for the inflation?
Yeah, for the inflation. It's fucking not. No.
Well, if you take it from, I guess it depends on where you measure, but from the low point, I would say no way.
Yeah.
I had a $2.50 steak the other day that I bought at the store, and it was fucking awful.
$2.50.
It was eye of round or some kind of thing. I forget what it was. I thought it was the same cut they use for fillets.
Okay.
But just like the, fucked up nip ends or some shit like that. And it was only a small steak, and I'm like, fuck it. Maybe it'll be good.
Yeah.
It was not good. Some steaks can suck. You think, how could a steak suck? It sucks.
I got to bring you more corned beef then.
I'll take corned beef anytime. That was some high quality fucking corned beef.
She can cook.
I mean, I don't understand. Your wife can cook like this, has no problem with you bringing me food. And yet, where's my fucking dinner tonight?
I should brought something.
Well, live from Studio D, we report on all these things internationally, nationally, and even we can go into space, whatever. I don't care. We can report on the oceans. It's disputed territories.
Let's go.
We are the voice of reason because we are the voice of patriarchy, and the voice of patriarchy is something that people fight against, they rail against, but it's something they don't understand is actually the thing that could save us now.
They don't respect dads. There's no respect for dads. My kids got me this shirt a couple years ago, so I had to wear it.
No respect for dads.
I have to wear a shirt that says "Dad" on the Patriarchy show eventually, right?
I think you should only wear that shirt. Yeah. I think that should
outfit.
be your uniform.
Nice.
Dad. I mean, paternal unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Person that gives birth. Life giver.
When you get right down to it, what's supposed to be the patriarchy? Men lead the country or some shit like that? It's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's a man led.
It's supposed to be like a father, like is the father in the house actually has a say.
Yeah, he pretty much not holds court, but people follow what he does. He's not only the spiritual head of the household, if you're following the church's rules, but he's also
the practical head.
Yeah, the practical head, the political. Like the wife is supposed to align herself with the husband, and now that doesn't happen.
And the choice is, you're the dickhead.
Yeah,
and that's it.
The dummy or the piece of shit.
Look at the commercials.
Yeah, and it's not like I say to my wife, no, you can't do that. It's if she really wants to do it, and she comes to me in a very sweet, feminine way, I'll probably break down and let her do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah,
it's not
they have a way of getting their way.
Yeah, it's when they nagging and the nagging. No, be feminine. Use your wiles on me.
Yeah,
use your charms.
Nagging is not the way to go.
No way.
That's when you resent having to say anything about it,
right?
And probably intend to do it anyways. Nobody can control anybody. Nobody can control anybody, really. Not like that.
That's for sure.
I mean, look, you have free will. You don't like the guy you're with. Hey, be a whore and move out.
Yeah, pick another.
Find a guy. But like, it makes no sense to say, like, oh man, guys shouldn't have any sort of like, like no special status or anything like that. Women treat, like the only fucking special status anybody gets is the trans people.
Of course.
And are you for trans people coming into the schools? These trans individuals.
I love that. I love it when kids chop their dicks off and rip their breasts off.
Isn't that the only thing? Not the only thing, but that's something that patriarchy show would be opposed to.
Right. We would oppose that, the patriarchy.
Yeah, oppose also, hate crime legislation. Period.
Right.
I don't believe in hate crime legislation.
A crime's a crime.
Crime is a crime. Punish them for the crime.
Right.
Make it serious across the board. Somebody kills me, while they're fucking robbing me.
Yeah, while they're calling you a honky.
Yeah, honky. I don't care about it. If they call me a
There's
honky
no
or not,
word.
doesn't
There's
matter.
No word.
But whether they call me a honky or not, doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Even if they have no racial animus towards me at all, they just think I'm a soft victim. Who cares? Because that predatory criminal attitude is worse than just not liking somebody.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but racists are getting in more trouble racists are getting their bank account shut down, while murderers, they can have a Bank of America account, no problem.
Yeah, they still get to conduct life.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Murderers,
even if they're punished, they can still do that. Even if it's like they want to fix it so they can vote.
Oh yeah,
convicted killers,
Let
convicted criminals. It goes so deep. They want to find a way to punish stuff that's not even illegal, just attitudes. You have the right to hate people.
Yeah,
you have the right. You don't have the right to hurt anybody because of your hate, right? But you do have the right to hate.
You can hate all you want.
Hate is not a privilege. It's a fucking right.
Yeah, you have to hate. If I didn't hate things. Like evil and stuff like that, and then how am I supposed to protect my family?
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't mind you hating evil.
Well, they're evil.
It's how you define it,
They're
right?
evil.
Well, give me a break. About hating. Everybody hates or can be seen doing things that would, lead someone to believe that they hate somebody,
Sure.
And it's okay to hate people. In a polite society, there's a lot of hate. You're allowed.
Over the years,
that's what politeness is. That's what tolerance is. Tolerate me.
Yeah.
Tolerate me and my fucking hate.
Thank you very much.
If you do that,
You're
I'll
welcome.
tolerate anything almost. You know what I mean? If I can just go, I fucking hate it that you do that, and there's so many things about you that I hate. I'm not going to kill you.
Right.
I'm not going to burn anything in your yard. I'm not going to get lynched. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we went from tolerance to full on. If you don't accept it, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Like within 10 years.
You know what? And I'm going to cling to the last vestiges of my right to hate anybody for any reason. And the reason I say that is because, truthfully, there's no group of people that I hate by their race or ethnicity that I hate. There's not.
Right.
There's just not. There's
You've
nobody
noticed
that I go,
patterns
this person here is this and this person is that. Chinese, black, or, Filipino, Jungle Asian, Jambalaya, people from Jersey.
Yeah.
Like you,
Scumbags.
who say button. Or Southerners or anybody. You're hating a group of people, except Democrats, and I think that Democrats, genocide, almost too good for them.
Yeah, that's too much.
Genocide for Democrats.
That's too good for Democrats.
How can you not be for genocide against a group of people that does nothing but clog up the works, fuck everything up, and introduce so much hate into the world?
Promote pedophilia, and
child molestation.
Yeah,
softening that.
That's evil. If that's not evil, I don't know what is then.
Look, yeah, I hate pedophiles. Is that bad?
Yeah.
If I commit a hate crime against a pedophile, is that a hate crime? Can you?
You have hate in your heart against pedophiles. Or no, minor attracted person.
Oh, a MAP.
Yes, a MAP.
Yeah,
and so therefore, you get a hate crime charge if you beat one up.
Yeah. Well, blacks commit a lot of crimes that you could term hate crimes as well.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They against gays, against Asians, against Jews, and whites.
And trannies.
And trannies, yeah.
But
trannies is more of a crime of humiliation.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit.
What'd I do? I don't like it now. Yeah, it's like, look at that pretty girl. What the? Oh, now I have to kill it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta.
So those things don't really get. There's one guy swinging a guy around by his hair. It's the video of that in the New York Post. You know, calling him a faggot, using the slurs and stuff.
Happens all the time.
And then there's a lot of fake hate crimes. If you want to prosecute hate crimes, you got to prosecute hate crimes. Stop calling it a hoax, and just say, oh, these 2 young black girls actually believe all niggers should die.
Right.
In Sacktown, the Sacktown black girls. That's 3 now in the last month.
Wow, really?
2 girls did this one. They wrote what I just said in pencil, and then there was one about a month ago who did a similar thing, act of vandalism. All of them caught on video doing it.
It's obvious.
That's a hate crime they committed. It is not a hoax. It's not that you punish it like you would do it if a white person did it. Period. How is it your race makes it okay to hate on black people?
Black privilege. You know? That's it.
Thanks
They can do
for
whatever
listening
the
to
fuck
the
they want.
Patriarchy Show. Later.